use those with students. So I'm going to select a group, and I'm going to select my Year 12 BTEC Level 3 group. I've not put any information on the home page yet. This is something I could do by editing it, as we've already looked at. But the first feature that we're going to look at is announcements, and I can use this to make an announcement to any members of that group. So the announcement I'm going to make is going to be, please note your home learning on diet and exercise is due in on Friday at 12 p.m. Use the resources from the lesson to help you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some files, as I've told students that I'm going to give them the resources from the lesson. So a couple of documents that we looked at. When I post that, those documents will be available for students to look at. Now, this announcement will go to all members of the group, but they'll also automatically receive an email on GroupWise with that message, and also the link taking them to the page in My Big Campus. So if I now click post, and what we'll see is my announcement's been posted, and the two resources that I've shared with them are there as well. The next feature we're going to look at is discussions, and a really useful feature allowing students to interact with one another. And so here we can see discussions. 3 of them have been created by me, and 1 of them has been created by a student. And so if we look on here, it's P1 and M1 badminton tactics. I've asked students to name and describe one badminton tactic, and I've had 26 responses, and so here I can see students that have added to that discussion, and nicely to see students now actually commenting on each other's work, and indeed flagging some of them. So that's a really nice feature, and if I want to create a new discussion or add to one, what I need to do is click on discussions and add discussions, and I can then type in the title of my discussion, any information that I want to do, any files that I'd like to support that discussion, and also any people that I'd like to keep it between, so it doesn't necessarily have to go to the whole group. If I want to add to a discussion, so for example a student that's put some nice links here, if I wanted to add to that discussion, I could add my own links here and click add post. The last 2 features I want to look at are the resources. That's probably the most important feature, because what it allows me to do is any resources that I have, I can share with this group and ensure that they can access it both in the lessons but also anytime they're logged on to My Big Campus. So here we can see a range of different resources. So if we just look in, we've got some PDF and Word documents there that will help them, and the other type of things that we can add in. And the great thing about the storage on My Big Campus is we can start to add in lots of video footage. So there's lots and lots of video footage taken from lessons that students can access. In resources, just as we've done before, I can create a new folder. This does use a folder system. So I'm going to create a folder called Diet and Exercise, and from here I can now start adding any files that I want to make available to these students. And I can then share these. So everyone in that group will have access to those resources. I can also do this for items in the library that I've put there, or that colleagues have put in from other schools. Any bundles, again, ones from other schools or ones that I've created, or any documents from my stuff that I'd like to share with this group. Okay. The final thing for us to look at with groups is knowing that the membership of groups may change. And so here I've got a list of all the students in that group and the staff in that group. And if I wanted to add someone to this group, and add Mark Williams in, okay, I can add him to the group. Okay. Also with this feature, if I've got someone here that I want to give administrator rights to, I can click give admin rights, and this will just wants me to be sure that I want to give Chris these rights, and I do. That will allow them to edit and add that page in the same way that I can. If there's a user in that group who is no longer part of that group, so I used Mark as an example, but he's not actually connected to the group, so I'm going to remove him. So I'll just click remove user. One other feature in here, if there was an issue, is you can lock down members of the group. This means that they cannot communicate with others for a period of 15 minutes. So if there's been an issue, I could lock down a student and prevent them from accessing certain interactive features for 15 minutes. Similarly, I can do this for the entire group by closing down the lockdown status. That's another important feature to know about.